The first stage of cleaning is over. I haven't touched the base, the firebox or the chimney yet, but everything else that needed to have a bath in vinegar has had a bath in vinegar, and it's done a good job. If you remember, the boiler was absolutely coated in soot and crap, and it's cleaned off really well. I mean, obviously that's just the first stage. I've got to work on that a bit more yet, and we got a lot of the rust off of the burner, so that's come along nicely. I also put the engine frame in vinegar as well, and that's cleaned a lot of the muck and crap off that was on there. I've still got to work out a way of taking the flywheel off. The problem is that this is almost certainly lead or a lead alloy, such as a white metal, and the problem with that is that you get any heat near it and it'll just melt basically. So yeah, I've still got to work on that. Let's have a closer look at the smaller parts. Now in here I've got all the smaller bits and pieces, and they've all cleaned up quite nicely. That was the cylinder shield, and that was all rusty. That's cleaned up nicely. This has come up quite well. This is part of the sight glass, so I've still got work to do on these obviously. What I really wanted to show you, and we'll have a close look at, is the pressure gauge. Now I don't know how well this is all going to come out on camera, but because the pressure gauge is very small, but as you can see, it basically consists of three parts: the main assembly here, the dial, which is a little bit of card really with the lettering printed on it, and the front glass. Now what was missing from this was the needle, the indicator needle, and basically it fits in this part here. I've fashioned a new needle from a piece of very thin brass rod, and it just fits into the little tube that held the original needle, although there is part of the original needle still in there which is broken off. However, I soaked all this in vinegar. It was all locked up, but I soaked it all in vinegar and that freed it off. Then I've oiled it with some very fine clock oil, and it does actually now work, so I'll show you that. So what you basically have is, in this tube here you have a piston which is pressing up against a spring, and that then connects to the lever, the little lever arm, which I think you can just about see, which connects to this disc, the little wheel. And what basically happens is I'll put a little rod in the end where the steam would go. So if I push on the rod, you see how it operates? Isn't that clever? I think that's amazing. And all of this obviously is very tiny. Now this rod, the indicator needle at the moment is free. I haven't glued that in. I need to glue that, fix that to this little tube that it sticks in. But I think hopefully once I've done that, we can actually get this thing to a point where it works. Right, I think we're there. Well, you can see that. Doesn't quite move full scale, but it does move, and it does indicate. So hopefully that will work when we actually put it on the steam engine. On to stage 2 of the cleaning, the really messy bit, which is of course using the oven mate. Now, it's been on for about an hour. It certainly seems to be having an effect. Yeah, it's definitely having an effect. Yeah, so I'll probably leave that on for, well, I don't know, another half an hour or so. Then we'll give it a good old scrub and we will wash it off, and I'll come back and show you what we've achieved. Well, the oven mate has done its work, and quite interesting results really. It's done a superb job on cleaning up the flywheel, as you can see. It's removed all the paint from that. Same with the smokestack, the chimney. It's all a bit wet still, but all the paint's gone. The cast iron engine base has still got a little bit on it in places, but the vast majority of it's all gone, so that's great. Firebox, yeah, pretty good. All the black's come off. Some of the red's still on there. I don't quite know why that didn't get removed, but it's done a pretty good job. I mean, normally that stuff's baked on, you know, so that will come off with a white wheel. That's all good. The most interesting bit is the base. Now, I don't really remember what colour it was before, but it was a red colour. But that red that was on there has all gone. This, I believe, is the original colour that's left. And quite often this does happen because the original colour is obviously put on properly, whereas it's quite often when people repaint these things, they don't do it properly. So I think this is the original colour. So what we need is a sort of a dark burgundy to do the repaint with, which is nice. Now I can clean all this off using wire wheel and so forth. I haven't done the underside yet. The underside was black. I don't know whether that was original or whether that's been painted, but I've still got to work on that yet. But no, all in all, that all came out quite well. So yeah, we'll move on to finishing up cleaning these off, and then we've got to get onto the painting stage. Just a quick intermediate update on the painting and cleaning situation. The firebox and chimney are done, painted with high temperature engine paint. They need to go into the oven for a bake, but other than that they're finished. The boiler is cleaned up quite well. I've just so far, obviously we've had the vinegar treatment, and I've obviously put it on a wire wheel to get most of it off, but it needs further cleaning obviously, and I've reattached the clip. I think it was this one that had come off. They're just lightly soldered onto the base of the boiler. So that's that. Engine frame's been etch primed, base has been etch primed. I'm fairly certain now that the base was probably red, that red that the oven mate wouldn't touch, and then probably with a lithograph print on the top, because quite often the German engines from that era had lithograph prints, particularly Ernst Planck ones definitely had lithograph prints on the base. Obviously I can't do that, but I can try and get a reasonable red colour on the base. Again, I'm not really sure what colour the engine frame was. It may have been red as well, I don't know, but I'm probably going to do it black because it'll make a nice contrast to the red on the base. So yeah, what have I got left to paint? The flywheel and the cylinder cover have got to be painted, and I think that's about it. Oh, and I've got to do some work on the burner. That needs to be painted, as does the firebox door. So that's where we are at the moment. Well, the Ernst Planck engine is ready to go back together. All the painting's done. Now, a little bit of a comment on the choice of colours here. I couldn't really find a decent match to the original colour, or what I thought was the original colour of the base. So I've gone with this sort of a dark burgundy colour, which I've seen other German steam engines from this time period that have had this colour base. I'm not saying that that's correct. I'm fairly certain that the Ernst Planck engine, this one, would have had a lithograph print on the top of the base, which obviously I can't do. And some of them are green, although I didn't see any trace of green on the original base, but I couldn't find a match, so I've gone with this, which I think is quite nice. Now, again, the engine frame was probably painted the same colour as the base originally, which would have contrasted nice with the lithograph print, but I didn't want to do it the same colour as the base because obviously I don't have the print, so you know it would have been just too much red. So I went with black for the engine frame. But no, I'm hoping it's all going to work. I'm hoping the little pressure gauge, which I showed you earlier, will actually function. So it'll be interesting to see. So yeah, basically all we've got to do is put it back together. The Ernst Planck engine is finally done, and boy was it fun. The restoration was pretty straightforward. You saw most of that, and it's come out I think quite nicely. It all turned out quite well, but getting the engine to run, I've spent about a day and a half on it, and it does work now. We're going to run it on air before we attempt to run it on steam. I had a feeling it was going to be problematical, so that's why I've been running it on air. I think it's mainly just wear over the age of the thing. The piston valve is quite sloppy, and I think that's the main part of the problem. I also think the eccentric strap and the eccentric are worn, so there's slop in those, and it makes the timing of the engine very, very crucial. But we'll take it off the table and we'll put it on, and I'll get the compressor linked up to it and you can see it running. I will attempt to steam it. I'm not sure how successful that will be, but we will give it a go. But yeah, it's actually done, and it's a very, very nice looking engine. I am keen to see whether the pressure gauge works, because I've been using the pressure gauge bush to fit my air adapter, so haven't been able to test the pressure gauge yet, but hopefully that will show something when we steam it up. There you go, there's it running on air. Runs quite well. Whistle works. It's about 15 psi. So hopefully it will run okay on steam. That compressor is. Right, let's see if we can get this thing running on steam. Well, heat's on, water in the boiler. Sadly, the pressure gauge decided to face away when it was tightened up, but... Oh yes, we're going. Excellent. Look at that. And it's running a lot better than it did on air, which is very unusual. Normally it's the other way around. So I'm well pleased with that. Running superbly. Very quiet too, considering everything's very sloppy and loose. As you can see, I did oil it up rather well. Let's swing it around and see whether that pressure gauge is reading anything. Yeah, sadly the pressure gauge is not really reading anything. Never mind. It was worth a try. You can see that spring is too strong for the low pressure that this boiler is producing. So, try the whistle. Yeah, we got whistle. I must say that this is one of the first engines that I've had in a long time. Probably may even be the first one where it actually runs better on steam than it does on air. Very odd. We had a little bit of a weak from the sight glass to start with, but that seems to have fixed itself. Probably just the O-rings bedding in, I think. No, it runs a treat. Let's change the camera angle. No, it runs lovely. Well pleased with that. So there we go, the Ernst engine running on steam for the first time since I restored it, and it's running very well indeed. Only real failure was the pressure gauge not working, but, well, yeah, I'm not too bothered about that. The engine runs, that's what matters. You know, it's running really well. Sight glass is working. Did, as I said, little leak to start with, but that's fine now. Little leak from the safety valve, but nothing too bad. So yes, running really well. Because it may be that it runs better on steam, because obviously now everything is hot and everything does expand, and maybe the slop in the piston valve is not as noticeable when it's all hot and everything's expanded. Beautiful, beautiful engine. One thing I'm about to do for the Ernst blank engine, and as always, hope you enjoy the videos and thank you very much for watching. Cheers!